Welcome to the Lady Gang. You're about to listen to our podcast, but there is so much more our community has to offer. Follow us at the Lady Gang, join our secret Facebook group, shop our clothing line, books, and find out when we're going to be in your city at theladygang.com. We're so excited you're here. Enjoy the show.
It's time for a Quickie.
Podcast One presents The Lady Gang, the Hollywood Girl Posse, with Lady Gang Quickie. Here's Kelty Knight, Becca Tobin, and Jack Vanek.
Let's make this quick.
Hello. Welcome to the Lady Gang. I am Becca Tobin here with Jack and Kelty. Oh, see, I didn't give you guys last names.
Rude. And your shoulders. Have you been doing push-ups? What is this buff McPherson?
No, I think it's like a weird tank top that I'm in.
Those are the kind of tank tops that make your arms look super buff.
Damn.
Jacked.
Okay,
Jacked.
Austin's looking good on you, girl.
Hello. We are here with very special guests, two of my personal friends and my baby makers. We'll get to why that is the case.
If you know me, then you know one of my leading ladies is Tammy Taylor, a.k.a. Connie Britton, a.k.a. that woman I chased down the hallway at Catch during the television event when we were watching our television show. Anyway, my love of Tammy Taylor led me to her next hit show, Nashville, which then led me to this guy, Kyle Massey, who played the adorable songwriter Kevin Bix on the show. So swoon-worthy, which led me to his husband, Broadway star Taylor Frey, that has now led us all the way to they are expecting a baby and helping Becca expect a baby. Please welcome to the Lady Gang. That's it. Taylor Frey and Kyle Dean Massey.
Very well done.
Just short.
Very, very good.
All about you. Love it.
Hi, guys. How are you?
I'm great. Good. How are you guys?
We're good. You're so for you guys who don't know who these two gentlemen are, first of all, they're very studly, so it's unfortunate that this is all audio.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But they are a married couple who, as you know, have this big career in theater and television, but then a couple of years ago, how many years ago did you start Elevate?
6, 7.
7. Okay. Elevate, which started as an egg donor agency, which now does donors and surrogacy, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, tell us how you started this. Did you get involved in asking women for their eggs? Please tell us.
Well, we had just been through the IVF process ourselves, and I think we thought it would be a little bit easier, a little bit more straightforward, a little more efficient, because you are paying a substantial amount to have a child this way. And we really had a hard time. We thought that the parties we were using, for whatever reason, lacked a lot of things that we believed would make it easier for other people going forward. And I just remember waking up one day with all that free time that you have as an actor in the day, often in like gym, maybe a self-tape if you're lucky, maybe a class. I just remember thinking, man, I think I can do this and help more people have children through IVF in perhaps a more transparent and efficient way. And so I got on, a website builder, and I built it, and I created a logo, and I didn't really have any donors yet, but I did have a great pool of women who I knew in my community in New York, who I knew were willing to donate. So they were pretty fantastic options from, what we had been seeing, although I believe that everyone who wants to donate is very generous. I think it's incredible in a process where you can choose certain things. Most people are looking for specific characteristics. Luckily, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I had a pretty great pool very quickly. And yeah, it was exciting. It was really exciting.
What were the things in other agencies that you thought were lacking that you wanted to really focus on with yours?
Let me tell you. Well, first and foremost, every single agency was like blue or pink and purple and angel wings and delivering babies to mothers from heaven. And for men like us, it just felt alienating. It felt
like, where
built
am
for
I
people.
in this? Sure.
Yeah. And you could see a few photos of donors of varying quality. The information seemed really limited. I just wanted to get a better look at who the person was that we were going to enlist to help our family.
What it was for me was in the legal contract parts, like just the smallest thing, like signing my name under intended mother and intended father instead of like intended parent. It was really in the details a lot of times, because then it felt like, oh, we're not supposed to be doing this. This is not made for us. This is made for those people and not people like us. It bothered me.
Yeah.
And so I remember being in New York, struggling performer, and always looking at the back, like seedy pages of Backstage. And it was like, okay, you know what? Like, I really am in a lot of debt. Like, I think the time has come for me to donate an egg. But then as I've gotten older, I've realized that this is something that, you know, women are doing, you know, for the greater good, for different reasons. Maybe they're not having kids themselves. Like, what are some of the reasons, and how are you finding your donors?
That's a great question. You know, one of the things that we look for straight away is that people aren't solely financially motivated. And I think that's like, for a lot of people, that's hard to wrap their heads around. They're like, how do you know? Let me tell you, you know, if someone is just solely trying to like make a quick buck, you learn straight away. These women, there's more to it. You know, they a lot of them have a personal connection, a family member, perhaps, a best friend, a teacher who struggled with infertility and went through this process, and they saw the shame that that person felt. And so they're like, you know, I want to do this. Or like you said, like maybe they're like, you know, I feel like I want to help somebody, but I don't want kids of my own. Whatever the reasons might be, it's great because everybody wins in this process, truly. The people you help get a baby. These people, they get the gratification of helping somebody, and they also receive compensation that can help their lives in a very meaningful way. I mean, truly, like paying off student debt or putting a down payment on a house or putting their kids through college. Like they use the money for a lot of good.
So this week, while we are renovating the house, I'm staying with my friends Dwayne and Joe, who are the ultimate foodies. Like, seriously, everything that is fabulous is at their house, and they're constantly cooking and making really great meals. And I noticed in their pantry that they had truff, which was a sponsor of LadyGang in the past and is back again. And Joe is actually sitting right here with me right now, and he just wants you to know that this is a true story and that truff is delicious. Go ahead, Joe.
It is a true story. It's in our cabinet. We've actually given it to both family and friends because it's so good.
Well, Joe is great. Thank you very much, Joe. Truff is the most amazing luxury hot sauce brand inspired by the elegance and indulgence of truffles. There's a style, there's a swagger. It's a hot sauce brand like no other. The original hot sauce has black truffles, chilies, savory spices, and organic agave. The hotter sauce takes the heat up a notch with extra jalapenos, red chili, and habanero sauces. And the white truff hot sauce is infused with rare and decadent white truffle. More than 1 billion organic shoutouts on Instagram and over 1 million likes on TikTok for a hot sauce. So you know that it's really, really special. So you can get 15% off site-wide plus free shipping with the promo code LADY at truff.com. That's 15% off everything at Truff, TRUFF, F as in fantastic.com, promo code LADY. Go get your sauce.
Okay, who's stressed about Father's Day? Because notoriously the fathers in your life are usually the trickiest people to buy gifts for, or at least in my case they are. But this year you can give a heartfelt, sentimental gift the whole family can cherish together forever, and that is StoryWorth. It's an online service that helps your dad, grandfather, father-in-law, or any father figure in your life share stories through thought-provoking questions about memories and personal thoughts. It's such a fun new way to engage with them, especially if you can't be together in person. Every week, StoryWorth will email the man in your life a prompt for a question that you've never thought to ask them, or a story or a memory. At the end of the year, they compile all the stories, including photos, into a beautiful keepsake book that's shipped for free. Kelty did this for her mom, and it's one of her prized possessions. Give your dad the most meaningful gift this Father's Day with StoryWorth.com. Get started right away with no shipping required by going to StoryWorth.com/lady. You'll get $10 off your first purchase. That's StoryWorth.com/lady, $10 off your purchase. It's a memory you will cherish forever. It's so amazing at StoryWorth.
The Lady Gang.
And so how did you guys meet, Becca?
So Taylor and I...
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
We were young, beautiful, vibrant children.
Understudies.
Understudies in a production of High School Musical at the Paper Mill Playhouse.
Oh.
This is when we saw you be Sherpa or whatever her name is.
Sharpay. I had the show.
Classic.
That's a doggy bag. Plug the ad.
Same shit. So Taylor and I were understudies in this production together, and we really just goofed off during understudy rehearsals. And I took Taylor out for his first drink. He was raised a good Mormon boy and hadn't had any alcohol. And I corrupt people. So we went out in Hell's Kitchen in New York City. We drank and drank and drank. And then he proceeded to vomit angel hair pasta onto my shoes on the sidewalks of New York City.
I would expect nothing less, to be honest.
Oh, God. The Becca factor.
And then Kyle is like the Becca factor. It's so true. Kyle is like very, very famous in the New York theater scene because, I mean, he's been in like 8 million Broadway shows and everybody knew who Kyle Dean Massey was. He was like a New York celebrity and also like just hot. When you're that hot, people know your name.
Yeah. Just Mrs. Taylor Frey. That's how most people met me, though, you know.
But really, honestly, we reconnected a couple years ago when I ran into Taylor at a charity for the Family Equality Council, this event. And he was like, how's it going? Do you have kids yet? And I started, the whole, we're trying. And, he was sort of in the same process of the journey, like doing the IVF and making the embryos. And I was telling him how weird it felt to go into these like fertility doctors in Beverly Hills. And a lot of the experiences there felt like I was at like a used car lot. And there's a very strange bedside manner sometimes that comes with doctors in that field, especially in Beverly Hills, because you make so much money. And I expressed how weird that experience was. And I just felt weird. I just felt uncomfortable going through a process.
What kind of bedside manner? Like, can you explain a little bit?
Oh, like a used car salesman in the sense that they're upselling you and they're telling you, you can use this special incubator when we're testing and there's so much money to be made in this field. And unfortunately, they get a lot of people who are desperate.
Yeah.
They want and they feel guilty if they don't throw every dollar they have at this problem because they want it so badly. So there's vulnerable people, and Taylor and Kyle have such a great barometer for knowing which doctors are amazing and which doctors are just money grubbing, some of them a-holes. So Taylor said to me, I want you to meet Dr. Donishman, who we had on podcast. Yes. So it's all full circle. So I went to Dr. Donishman in San Diego. Taylor was absolutely right. It was just the best experience ever. But not only that, Taylor has taught me more about women's fertility than any person in my entire life. Wow. And I felt like this is so crazy and ass backwards that like the only person in my life who knows more about blood work and FSH and AMH are two gay men who have a donor agency. Like, where are we? What is the missing link? And that link is like having these conversations. So long story short, I just feel like they have a wealth of knowledge and an experience that to share. They're also expecting. Are we allowed to say this?
We are. It was in People Magazine.
So exciting.
We had a big announcement. And so after all of those struggles, now you're here. And how many months away are you?
We just hit 19 weeks. So
20. We're 20 weeks.
We just did our 20-week scan. Yeah, we just started our 20-week scan yesterday in Knoxville, Tennessee, where our surrogate is, which was really exciting. And I thought the whole thing would only be exciting, but turns out a 20-week scan is also really nerve-wracking. They really cover every little aspect. And as the tech starts going through the ultrasound, you realize there's all these layers that are being unveiled to you for the first time. And any number of things could be wrong. Right. So it went from really fun to like, oh my gosh, what's next?
Yeah. Well, that was something like in this whole process that I didn't realize is that the 20-week scan is a very, very stressful time. And a lot of people experience like, is something wrong? Does this look right? We won't know for a couple weeks. So I feel like a lot of people expecting babies at this time, it's something we never even knew. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't know until some of my best friends went for their 20-week scans and found some very bad information out and had to terminate a pregnancy at that point. And like, I didn't know that. Why don't we know this?
Yeah, it's tricky. And then at that point, you're connected and you're invested, especially when you've spent the funds we have and you've been trying for a little bit. So it does feel heavy and it feels serious. And it's so cliche to say this. and awful situations happen where terminations are necessary 100%. But staying positive, it's something we coach our clients on every day, because this is IVF. And even with the setbacks and the challenges, like 99.9% chance it is going to work out for you eventually. Now, you might be living in a tent after, or you have to start again, but it will work out.
And so what is your biggest, what gets you the most jazzed? Like literally, because we're Broadway people. Well, I'm not a Broadway person. It's something like 3/4 or so. What gets you jazz hand about it? And then what is like terrifying you about, okay, it's finally happening. The baby's coming. What are we going to do about?
Oh gosh. I mean, I think that we're in that stage right now where we're like getting ready. We're getting the nursery together. We bought the carriages. We're getting the diaper genies and the car seats and those types of things. And like, it's becoming more real to us, because for so long it's been kind of like an abstract idea. We had these embryos, they're in a freezer in Beverly Hills, and they were there for years. And now they're like growing in this amazing woman in Tennessee. And then we just went and saw her yesterday, like moving around. I mean, she's coming. It's going to happen. Like, we're going to have a baby and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I'm also just kind of like, wait a second. Like, how are we going to handle a baby? We can barely manage our 2 dogs sometimes. Like, our lives are crazy because, we both work full time running this business with Elevate. And so we obviously want to make sure that we can fulfill our professional duties, but like, we want to be the best dads we possibly can. So we're in that stage of trying to figure it all out right now. And who figures it out? That's what I hear from everybody.
No one.
No one. You never figure it. You kind of learn it as you go. So, but I do want to read like a book. People send me your good book suggestions.
A book.
Just one.
As long as you read one book, you'll be fine,
one.
I think.
Just one. Audiobook preferably. Yeah.
There you go.
And you said that when you started this journey and you went to these sort of traditional places and you had to sign, the mother to be line, that you didn't really fit this mold, or somehow it made you feel like you were not supposed to do that. Having started Elevate and then kind of forging your own path, and then, sort of maybe the global acceptance of this happening more and more over the years, like, do you feel like more accepted, or there is a place for you? And,
Yeah, 100%. And the truth is, I hope this comes across how I mean it, but I think we created that.
Right.
Us and a couple other programs. I really do. There's a new generation of men like us who want to go through this, and young women who want to be properly informed about what their choices are and what their power can be in the future when they have those choices and can dip into the choices they made before, freezing their eggs or doing genetic mutation testing for a future healthy pregnancy. People are very interested in this. And our goal is just to create a program that appealed to everybody. Gay man, for sure, absolutely. But 60% of our clients are heterosexual couples or single intended mothers. So yeah, I think the space is improving vastly. And at a very fast rate.
Now tell me about, so this woman who's your surrogate, like, how do you find one? How do you sign up for it? I actually thought this was really interesting. I learned this. I think Becca told me that you can't be a surrogate unless you already have your own family. Like, there's a bunch of different things. Can you talk? This is so interesting.
Yeah, the requirements are very interesting.
It's funny. We have an online application that anyone can fill out in less than 2 minutes, and which seems crazy short, right? But it's like 12 questions, and they're almost all exclusionary questions. So like, if you answer one question that's not the right answer, you can't be a surrogate. So like, for instance, like if you live in the state of Louisiana, you can't be a surrogate. It's illegal there. Like, if you're over the age of 40, you can't be a surrogate. You're out of the age range.
Geriatric pregnancies.
Kelty, you have a few months left.
If you haven't had children of your own, you can't be a surrogate. Mm-hmm. And, there's a lot of other questions we ask. And really, because as we've kind of mentioned, this process, it's expensive. And when people create embryos, they are very, very precious cargo. It's taken a lot of time and energy and motion to get there. And so they're trying to take away every factor of risk that you possibly can before you get to that transfer. So it's not easy to become a surrogate. We look for people who've wanted to be surrogates for a long time. I've heard from a couple surrogates on our consults with them. They're like, ever since I saw Phoebe do it on Friends, I've always wanted to be a surrogate. And for other people, it's like they meet someone who's a surrogate and it's never even occurred to them, but they met someone, they're like, oh, wait a second. I loved being pregnant. I was so good at that. And that would be cool. They kind of start thinking about it and looking into it more. It's amazing. I have to say, in the media, surrogates get a really bad rap, I think, just because it's always these sensationalized articles, like she tried to keep the baby, that sort of thing,
Oh my gosh.
But we work with
Sure.
gestational
It's either
carriers. It's like, it's not a thing.
Well, it's either like National Enquirer or a woman, not men so much because they're not like humanly equipped to have a child, but like a woman who has a surrogate, you're like blasted for it because like you didn't want to ruin your body, you're so gross, like, or whatever that is, so there really is never just like happy surrogate stories.
Listen, just for the record, you can't look at a person and tell if they need a surrogate or not. So you know what I mean? You don't know.
But that's part of the disservice of society right now is you don't even know the late pregnancies in a woman's later years that had a surrogate, and they're just not really sharing the details. And so you're in the checkout line at the grocery store and you're seeing old celebrity 101, 55 and a natural pregnant. What a superwoman. And, she I know of many cases they used a donor and a surrogate. And I hope in the future that shame is removed. And of course, it's a woman's prerogative what she wants to share and what she doesn't. Absolutely. I totally respect that. I just think it's creating this mentality in women that they have forever to do this because they've seen other people do it very late in the game.
Nothing makes me more excited than talking about Third Love, one of our favorite sponsors for, honestly, 5 years since the beginning of LadyGang. We freaking love Third Love. So Third Love is your go-to destination for comfortable and quality everyday essentials. And you can get the level of fit and comfort that you deserve with Third Love bras, underwear, sleep, and loungewear. Now, I'm not kidding, literally replaced every single bra I own with a Third Love bra because I hate wearing bras, and their bras are so freaking comfortable. I can wear them all day. So you can find their new favorite everyday essentials from their all new Feather Lace collection to their #1 rated 24/7 classic t-shirt bra. That's the one that I can never take off. And if you don't feel like getting dressed in the morning, now you don't have to. Meet the Third Love lounge and sleepwear from lazy Sundays on the couch to weekend outings. So you deserve some TLC. That's Third Love comfort. Go to thirdlove.com/LadyGang to get 20% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/LadyGang for 20% off today.
If you are an entrepreneur, businesswoman like me, or you're just trying to send out some birthday cards, then you should have Stamps.com. If you don't have Stamps.com, there's really no reason that you don't. It's free to sign up. You just go to Stamps.com. You enter your credit card. You sign up for an account. Anytime you want to make a Stamps purchase, whether you want to get the whole machine and do the rigmarole if you're a small business, you can send out packages nonstop, which we do all the time, and just easily drop them at the post office, order a pickup from home, or you can literally print stamps. You never have to wait in line at the post office again. Stamps.com is incredible. They've been one of our sponsors since the very beginning, and there's no risk. So head on over to Stamps.com, use our promo code LadyGang, and you're going to get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. There's no long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in LadyGang. That's Stamps.com, promo code LadyGang. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And welcome to T-Pain's Nappy Boy Radio Podcast. The most fun you'll ever listen to while you're folding your clothes. Now let's get this straight. This is not your average podcast. T-Pain's Nappy Boy Radio is super fun, super crazy. It's pretty much an in-your-face conversation. That's the good thing about us. We don't do interviews. We do conversations. All of my guests, all of my co-hosts, we chill. We drink, we play games, we have the song of the week, we have the creative curse word of the week, as long as you're having fun as our guest. Speaking of guests, each week I'm going to go through my whole contact list and dive head first into the world of music, gaming, exotic cars, tech, strippers probably, doctors probably strippers that are only stripping so they can pay for tuition to become a doctor. You never know. My wife is a certified bartender. She'll make you a drink while you're here. We'll get you drunk and make you play VR after. It's a lot going on. But that's what it's all about over here at T-Pain's Nappy Boy Radio Podcast. See you soon, baby!
The LadyGang.
That is something that we've talked about a lot, is that those stories of these women in the media who have babies late and they don't have any, quote, help doing it. A lot of them did use donor eggs and a lot of them did use surrogates, and whatever. If they don't want to disclose that information, that's totally fine. But then on the other end of it, we have to have medical professionals and people in the space like Taylor and Kyle out there being like, this is not the norm. That is the exception. That is not the rule. And there is, unfortunately, an expiration date for when a woman can conceive naturally. And that's like something I know the three of us have become very passionate about, is just getting the word out there before it's too late for women. And then the other beautiful side of it is, if it is, quote, too late for you to have this, a natural pregnancy or biological, whatever it is, you still have the option of having a donor eggs or using a surrogate. That's a stigma that I would love to see go away, is for the heterosexual couples that are using donor eggs to be more open about it. But there's a lot of them, but not a lot of them talking about it.
There's still shame around that, I think. I think that's, especially for women, it's very difficult for them to come to terms with potentially replacing their own genetics, even if they are using the sperm from their husband, and the child will be 100% be, biologically theirs, and she can carry in most cases. So it is an interesting conversation. I'm excited to see how it progresses. I got to say, one of the coolest things about working in this space as a gay man who, of course, in the cruelty of the universe, women, heaven forbid you want to chase a career and you have dreams and aspirations and goals other than being a mother one day. But of course, you've got your biological clock, and that's how your body works, and you're primed at a certain time before many women even know who they are or what they ultimately want to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm here as this gay guy being like, oh, I can chase my dreams on Broadway forever. I can do a TV show, a movie here and there, and then dip in and have a kid when I am good and ready. And it's the coolest part of this is empowering women to know that you have choices, and this is up to you. If, I know it sounds expensive often, but there are cost-effective ways to do it. If you have a little savings bank, maybe put it towards that instead of the future Gucci bag, whatever it may be, and take some of your choices back.
Well, it's an interesting conversation too, as like the generations are getting older and older and people are waiting longer to even decide to start having families. We're going to have to start talking about this more and more, because it's not one of those things where now it's weird that I'm 35 and maybe starting to think about having a kid. Now that's going to probably start being the norm for a lot of people. So it's great to just have the conversation open for people to know their options.
I think it's putting a lot of pressure on people too, at like a pivotal part in people's lives. When you think about your 30s, it's kind of a time that if you have found your career, it's usually the time you're kind of climbing the ranks, so to speak. And then to add that pressure on top of it, that can be overwhelming for a lot of people. And like Taylor said, you do have options. You have options as long as you know about them.
Yeah. And health insurance. Health insurance is getting better. Yeah. It's a slow burn. I do think especially women are going to have more access to freezing eggs or health insurance as we progress. For guys like us, it's a very long battle, and very few companies offer it because we're not deemed infertile. We've just made our choice. I mean, Kyle and I have tried a lot, and I always thought he was going to get pregnant, and it just never happened. So
don't stop trying.
You know what I mean? Keep practicing, guys. Keep practicing.
Miracles happen.
Well, I did want to ask you. So, Becca, I feel like I'm going to ask you first, and then Kyle and Taylor. Becca, who do you think is going to be like the disciplinary dad, and who do you think?
I was going to ask this earlier.
Like fun dad. Who's going to be like, don't worry, have this candy at 9 p.m.
Well,
don't pick this up, Becca.
I mean, it's kind of, Kyle's like everyone's dad, like he's just responsible. He's level-headed. No offense, Taylor. He's,
not puking angel hair pasta on your shoes.
Yeah. He
was at one point. He was at one point.
Aren't we all?
But they're a great combo. I think that, Kyle, don't get me wrong, is also a lot of fucking fun. They're a very fun couple. So I have no doubt this child is going to have a lot of joy and laughter and like going to jet set more than any child you've ever seen in your life. But Taylor's probably going to be like, I'm a cool mom.
Yes.
He's already bought this child like 85 Gucci dresses.
No.
Yes,
you have
Oh my
not.
gosh.
Yep.
It's true. It's
Yes.
true.
In
Listen,
I
I
hope in
didn't-
growing sizes, because you're not going to have enough time to wear the newborn size.
What are you
No,
going to do
actually,
with it?
I've been adding on now, so I think I've got enough for years 2 and 3 as well. I didn't know they had a kids line, and then I walked in there one day. I was like, "Oh, we're in trouble now." Shit,
Such a sucker.
Yeah.
they're so cute.
Okay, what do you guys think?
How we're gonna be as dads?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Becca kind of nailed it. I think we're pretty good. I don't know. That's a good thing about, I think, Taylor and I. We are yin and yang for sure. I think he fills in my gaps, and I'm sure we'll parent the same way.
Yeah, I think so. I do have questions about, I think in some ways the roles might reverse. I might surprise myself because I don't know. I'd think of their like lessons and stuff that I hope they're engaged in and would love to see them excel at. And I don't want to be that dad that puts pressure on them to like go to, whatever school or be really good at tennis. But I can also see myself being kind of psycho like that. So we'll see.
We'll love her as long as she's
what?
a tennis star and she dances for the Royal Ballet. But
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's
And
easy.
here's-
Low expectations. Yeah, low bar.
And here's the good news. Within the Lady Gang here, you have Jack, whose parents were like, literally, your hair is lavender, your eyes are stardust. Like, we love you so much. You're so special and wonderful. And my parents that were like, see you next week, maybe. You're 7, like a latchkey kid. And we all have the same hideous, bad self-confidence and like mediocre achievements. So don't worry too much about what you do.
No amount of love can help you.
The lesson here is you can any kid up no matter what you do.
Exactly.
Very, very true.
You can be a dance mom or not a dance mom, or dance dad or not a dance dad, and either way, they're going to be
Society will really crack you down.
No stress, no pressure. You know what I mean? At least the baby's going to be so cute. So we're good in the Gucci.
The baby is going to be so cute.
I mean, we're already obsessed
so
with her, and we've only seen ultrasound images so far, but I can tell you, she's the most beautiful
putting
girl
the nursery
ever.
together is, her little profile was super cute, and putting the nursery together has been the most fun I've ever had. Kyle and I love design. We like doing house stuff, but that room is like, it's a temple. I walk in there and I'm like, it's awesome.
This baby will never cry in this room.
Yeah, right. Famous last words.
Well, listen, we're so excited. And can you just let everyone know sort of, if they're listening to this, where they can go and register, even if they're thinking about being a surrogate, or they're interested in getting more information, or they want to be a donor, or they're, interested in getting started on all this?
Listen, all you have to do is visit elevatebaby.com. If you're interested in finding a donor or finding a surrogate or being a donor or being a surrogate, you just go to the same place. It's very easy.
It's
going
so
to be in the greatest hands ever. I have a friend who has a surrogate happening situation with these boys right now. And she's raving about the experience. So yes, you're going to be in very good hands. There's a lot of love, and they have searched the globe for the best of the best.
I love that, you guys. This is such a great, just thanks for taking the time, because this is stuff that we never get a chance to talk about and don't really know anyone doing this, and so many questions. So please come back on, and please share lots of pictures of the baby when she gets here. And, if you need a name, Kelty is available.
Kelty. Got it.
They're like, not after we did this podcast.
Should we tell them your name, Kyle?
Oh, do you have the baby name?
We do have a baby
I
name.
think it's already out there.
We have a baby name.
Not the name.
Oh,
did you say the baby name already? I was going to tell Kyle's that he liked.
Oh gosh, speaking of bad father, good father, listen to this.
Oh,
Fuck.
yes.
So we were in their house in Palm Springs and having some cocktails, and we were talking about how excited we are that their baby's going to be coming and she's going to be so cute. And Taylor was like, oh yeah, she's going to be super cute. Why don't you ask Kyle the name he pitched this week?
Oh, no.
You want to hear the name he pitched? I was like, yeah, it's going to be chic. I mean, they're the chicest humans on the planet and whatever. And Kyle said, Picket.
Picket? Like a
Like
fence?
Like a
Oh,
fence.
I went right to picket line.
Yeah.
It gets worse. His second choice was steak.
Wait, are you serious?
Dead serious. This guy's a psycho.
Okay, Gwyneth.
Are these both for girls? Steak?
You know, they're unisex names, you know.
They're not names for any sex. They're not names for anyone.
I
They're
don't
names for
hate
things.
Pickett. I don't hate Pickett.
I
hate steak. I hate steak.
I almost like steak. It's so bad it's good.
No.
I think you should go for steak.
See, I needed you guys a couple months ago. That's what I needed. I needed somebody on my team.
You did.
What if steak ends up being vegan though? Then there's an issue.
That's true.
Yeah. Or no. Oh, that's a whole other thing. Is that was the third name he liked was Quick. And I was like, what if she's slow? Like, what if she can't? What if she doesn't run fast? Like that could be a thing. Maybe she's like doesn't run, and you're gonna call her Quick.
You can't give these people ammo just out of the gate. You know.
I'm just saying, if anyone has any further doubts about me just being fun, just remember that I am also saving my child's life for her namesake.
You are.
Well, but it's kind of nice when you're like, hurry up, quick.
Sure.
Yeah, I just love Kyle's brain.
Hurry up, quick little steak.
Listen, I really do love where it's going. I just feel like at the end it fails. The ideas are there.
I feel as a 3-year-old,
execution
I'm
is not the best.
into it. As a 17-year-old influencer on Instagram in a bikini, I'm not sure steak is where we want to go.
Or Quick and easy. Why don't you just make her middle name Easy?
Then she sounds like a Hot Pocket.
Yeah, awful.
All right, so our friends at Elevate have a very exciting offer, and don't sleep on this. Don't snooze, because it's a big, big deal. Taylor and Kyle, let us know what you're going to do for our Lady Gang listeners.
We are going to offer free consults. They're about 15 to 20 minutes, and we can walk you through how, when, and where to freeze your oocytes and bank them for future use, and how to do so cost effectively with some of the best physicians in the world. We'll set up a little program and get you referred to the right place after we walk through what it's going to entail, how many days of injections, what hormones you're going to be taking, and what you can expect from the process. We're here to help you.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yay!
Holy moly. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much.
We were not here for a good time. We were not here for a long time.
We were here for a
good time.
Thanks for listening. The Lady Gang is produced by Alex Ingber, Steve Delameter, and Jared Monaco. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. And if you love it, share it with your friends on social media. Like, oh my God, I just listened to Lady Gang. This episode's so great. Swipe up to listen. And if you really want to, which we know you do, please follow us on social. At Kelty, at Becca, at Jack Vanek, and at The Lady Gang. Sign up for our newsletter at theladygang.com and join our secret Facebook group. It's super fun. See you next Tuesday.